Here we go again.
Girls, what's my weakness?
Men! Sorry. I gotta say, like, I don't know what it is, but, like, every time I'm with my brothers, like my brother who's just older than me, my brother who's just younger than me, we say that all the time, and it's like all of us straight married men, you know, but we gotta say, I mean, there's something about salt and pepper that you just gotta.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you just gotta. Anyways, welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Salt and pepper.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, salt.
No. TLC all the way.
Really? I mean, waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls. And remember,
Just stick to the rivers and lakes of yours.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
And remember, gentlemen, creep.
Yeah, creep.
Right.
You see, salt and pepper, too chunky for me. Too chunky. Too chunky. Yes, it is. It's too chunky.
Too chunky. All right.
I went, was okay. Was fine. But salt and pepper were just too chunky for my taste. Give me some Eternal or some TLC or some
Brandy was in the day.
On Vogue.
Oh, did you just say on Vogue?
Yeah, on Vogue.
In Vogue.
Never gonna get it.
Never
gonna get it.
In
on
Vogue.
Vogue.
No, it's
on
on
Vogue.
Vogue if you're
In
from
the UK,
France.
it was on Vogue.
It's in Vogue.
Yes, exactly. And I'm from a European country.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guess I thought you guys fought to stay. You had your own independence.
Yeah, to break free from the EU. It's not physically possible for the UK to leave Europe. Europe is a geographic location. The EU is a complete and utter bullshit system of, political organization that, is just tyrannical and shit. So there's two differences.
Tell us how you really feel.
Europe good. Europe good. EU bad.
All right.
Europe good. EU
right.
bad.
So, let us take off the tangent alert. And as soon as I took off the tangent alert, Nev went away. He went.
Yeah, my camera's being a biatch.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Nev will be coming in and out, and probably in and out again. But today, welcome back to. It's been 2 weeks since we've had a Breaking Bad batch.
We got busy last week.
We did. So I'm very excited for this episode to talk about the last 2 episodes, which were the Rescue on Ryloth and
Aftermath
and Infested, right?
Aftermath and Infested.
No. It's Rescue on Ryloth. Is it Aftermath? I thought Aftermath was the first one. Like
I clicked on the wrong one. You're right.
So, Rescue on Ryloth is the actual Aftermath, which is, I'm assuming, where you were going with that, Paul.
Yes, Rescue on Ryloth, the aftermath of the episode entitled
of the previous,
Devil's Deal.
Yes, of the previous episode.
The Bad Batch appearing as a guest star on the Bad Batch episode.
Yes. So I gotta say, I called it because we talked about this, and one of the biggest problems that you guys had with the previous episode, the what do they call it? The Devil's Deal, which again was a Bad Batch cameoed episode, right? Mm-hmm. I thought it was wonderful. And as a multi-part story, I thought that it would be enjoyable. The problem is, if it was a standalone episode, obviously it was going to be an issue because it left so much open. But it was.
They should have just made one longer episode.
They should have. They should have made a longer episode. But if you look at like what we've seen so far, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think that that's the way that they're going to go with it. I would love to see longer episodes, as in 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I'd love to see that in it, like we saw with the opening episode with Aftermath, which was, what was Aftermath? How long was that? That was like 50 minutes, 47 minutes.
Aftermath?
Yeah.
I will look.
It was longer for sure.
I thought it was like 90 minutes.
It might, but the idea is that it was 3 parts, right? It was a 3-part story. So an hour and 10 minutes. So what is that? 90 minutes? 60, 70 minutes? Right? I can't do math.
Thaddy is doing math.
Or apparently
he's an English teacher. We have to give him a pass.
So the rescue on Ryloth actually starts off with. Here's the thing: the rescue on Ryloth, I thought, between the 2 episodes that we'll be talking about tonight, is the more important one. Do you agree?
Yeah.
It's the better of the 2. There are some really key things about Infested that I think we should talk about, that we should go over. But for the most part, I think the rescue on Ryloth has a lot more power to it. So we get a story where let me bring up our characters. What's the name of the trooper? There, the captain of the base. Hauser, thank you. So one of the important things about this episode is Hauser's reaction to everything, right? I think his actions are foretelling. What is that noise? Anyone hear that?
It's probably my air conditioning.
Oh, it probably.
Are we on Twitch or YouTube?
We're just on YouTube. Because I get yelled at every time I go dual. Also, my family upstairs is watching the Olympics on Hulu, so I don't want to kill up too much bandwidth.
Give me a tinkle when it gets to the athletics, because that's all I'm interested in.
Yeah. They're doing gymnastics and swimming. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, so with Hauser's actions in this episode, I think it's foreshadowing what we're going to see with Camino. Right? So the premise of the episode is Hera's missing. Rampart goes in. He's like, "Hey, I'll save your daughter if you just have the people work with me," kind of a thing. And we find out officially that Ord Free-Ta wasn't assassinated, just attempted to be assassinated, which I think is insane. They shot the dude in the temple. I don't know, like, with what, but
they shot him in the Leku.
Did you see the? It was like right here. Like, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. But anyway,
gunshot wounds in fleshy areas always look worse.
I'm sure
Trust me, ex-military.
Not ex-military. I've never seen a gunshot wound up close, and God willing, I never will.
Yeah. They're not. It's not like in the movies. It's not like neat little holes in the movies with a little bit of blood.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's a lot of blood.
It's a lot of blood.
Yeah, right. Especially in the head. Just saying. But anyways,
the Leku.
The Leku.
Even CGI aliens bleed.
Exactly. So, we get this scene where they're trying to find Hera. Hera calls out to the Bad Batch. Omega's like, "We've got to save him," which is starting to be a trope so far. I mean, we're seeing a trend, right? The Bad Batch is like, "Look, we're military people. We can't go off all half-cocked and start killing people and saving everyone. We don't have the resources for that." And then Omega's like, "But you're the soldiers. You're the good guys." Do you see a trend happening? I mean,
yeah. She flashes the Puss in Boots eyes, and they go, "Oh, yeah, okay, we'll do it."
So, I'm calling it now. Omega dies at the end of the season, and that is the catalyst.
Yeah. And next week you'll change your mind, because you change your mind from episode to episode as to what's going to happen at the end.
Well, I mean, I'm gathering more information. I'm using the scientific method. I'm gathering information, and I'm adjusting my opinion based on new information. right?
Mm-hmm. And I still think that she's going to be whisked away to a safe house at the end of the episode by the rebellion. And I still think, Bail Organa is going to be the one that does it. He's going to whisk her away to a safe house so that she can, have a childhood.
I think that what we're going to see is the Bad Batch taking the role of Star Killer in the new canon. That's what we'll see. Them moving forward, moving the rebellion forward, right? Anyways, so what's interesting though is Hera and Omega, they set up this plan to kind of do some reconnaissance, and what happens? They find out that none other than Crosshair is there, right? Crosshair is alive. He's there on Ryloth. He's working with Rampart, and everything is about to go to crap, right? They decide to blow up a base. They decide to blow up that industrial, mining facility. And I gotta say, one of the things that I absolutely loved about this episode, and I did love this episode. This episode for me was a good one. I do like that it's a 2-part episode, right? We're not getting a trilogy. I like seeing these back and forth episodes that are these story arcs that are more that aren't like extensive, but are smaller scale, I guess. I enjoyed that. I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting. But one of the things that I liked seeing in this episode was Chopper. I love Chopper. I am a fan of droids, and it was cool seeing Chopper in action, right?
Chopper's a good character.
He is a good character, right? Seeing the different things that he did. I didn't pick up on any WTFs from Chopper in this episode. Not a whole lot of swearing from Chopper. He kept it pretty tame, right?
Yeah.
Which I think again just develops the character of Chopper as a he's cool under pressure, right?
Oh yeah.
Anyone else?
Chopper's cool. He's got a cool personality.
But he'll drop the F-bomb when he's just with his friends. He's like, this is a effing stupid thing, and he'll let you know.
Beep, boop, beep.
Yeah.
You're like, wash your mouth out with mineral oil.
Seriously.
You rude little droid.
What is it about, like, astromech droids? Because R2 is just as bad. R2 swears all the time. He is a very vulgar little droid. And
everything he said was beeped out.
Yeah. Everything. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm very I like this episode for a couple of reasons. One, also, Chopper was a lot of fun. What did you guys think about the role of Hera and Omega in this part? Right? The plan backfires and they have to improvise. Right? And it goes a little astray, but also okay. So, what were your thoughts when they send Hera and Omega off on their own? What are you thinking?
Disgusted. Use of child soldiers is immoral and evil. I was disgusted.
Okay. All right. I didn't think about the use of child soldiers. I probably should have thought more about that. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
yes,
point.
you should.
What is Disney doing and saying?
Yeah. Putting child soldiers in their animated TV shows? What, do they want a bunch of kids to become aspiring soldiers?
Yeah. It's terrible. I agree. This is wrong.
Here's a ship with munitions on it. Go fly it.
And blow a bunch of stuff up.
Go blow some stuff up, kids.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Knock yourselves out.
Paul, what were your thoughts? You're on mute, Paul.
On what part? Sorry, I've been trying to find a picture for you.
Omega and Hera are they're child soldiers, right? They're sent off to.
Gotcha. I know what you're talking about now. I mean, they volunteered for the job. It wasn't like they were indoctrinated.
That's true. We didn't see any actual indoctrination of.
So child soldiers without indoctrination, good. Child soldiers with indoctrination, bad.
It depends on the situation.
Clearly it works for Disney.
That makes sense.
Yay for child soldiers, but only if they volunteer.
Only if they volunteer. All right. So you're fine with it, Paul, as long as they volunteer. Nev says no to child soldiers.
No to child soldiers.
What if they're freedom fighters? Which Hera and Omega are. Is that okay? Can child soldiers be freedom fighters?
I also have to admit that I institute a suspension of disbelief in terrible things and just let people tell me stories when I ask them to tell me stories.
That's a terrible thing, Paul. You should never.
Yeah, no. Paul is absolutely right. You should suspend disbelief when it's a story. When it's a made-up story.
So,
but the caveat being, explosions in space, also known as fire. No, not allowed. There is no suspension of disbelief when you break the laws of physics. The laws of physics and thermodynamics. You are not allowed. So you can suspend disbelief regarding, a story, a couple of characters, getting involved in the narrative and shaking things up. But no fire in space.
There is no burning in space.
There is no burning in space.
What are we talking about? Like in the void of space, in the great vacuum of space? Or are we talking about like located in a gravitational?
No, Nev's just trying to rile me up because I had a fun little take during the Escape podcast about how when a ship could inflict burning, there is no burning in space.
And my argument was that the burning isn't in space. The burning is coming out of the ship because the ship does have an atmosphere with oxygen in it.
That's my point.
And that's what's venting into space and burning.
Yes. Just like water can't light on fire unless you're in the Gulf of Mexico and, what do they call those? Kaijus are coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Which is what we're experiencing now, right? Kaiju's shooting out of the Gulf of Mexico. So I gotta say though, outside of the nostalgia of Rebels, outside of the kind of like the silliness of Hera and Omega learning to fly on their own, right? And apparently the relative ease, but.
Let me rewind a little bit back on what we're talking about. Where was the outrage you guys were having when Omega learned to shoot with the bow and arrow?
Because I argue that there's nothing wrong with teaching anybody how to use a tool in its proper way.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with firearm safety training at all. For anyone at any age, here's a chainsaw, go use it. Here's a nail gun, go use it. You've got to train people how to use things so that they don't, chainsaw their hand off or put a nail in their foot or, accidentally shoot someone on the same squad as them.
Yeah. Friendly fire is a real issue, especially in space.
Or accurately be able to hit Leku.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You see the side of his head. There's a bullet wound. Anyways, yes, accurately hit Leku. So
no. It's not in the side of his head. The shot came from the front, from those terrorists that were arrested for the attempted assassination. How many times do I have to tell you this, Thaddeus?
That's true. That's true. We should always listen to the government, because they're the ones, especially the Empire, which is
especially the Empire,
which is interesting because you, Nev, do come from an Imperial background.
Yes, I do.
Right. There was one time.
The Empire was always right. Yeah.
Yeah. There was one time where the Imperial, the England Empire, the English Empire.
The British Empire.
I'm sorry. The British Empire. The sun never set
Empire.
on the British Empire.
No,
right?
It did not.
So
it did not set. For 100 years, the sun never set on the British Empire.
Yeah, and now they can't win in a soccer match.
Excuse me?
I didn't say anything.
They can't win a final.
I didn't say that. I feel like I will upset Nev and never be able to stream with him again if
Nev will fully admit to that they can't win in penalties.
We can't. Yeah, we're crap at penalties.
Oh, see, I live in Utah, right? The Utah Jazz have never won a championship, but they are, hands down, in my opinion, the best number 2 team ever.
I agree. They're pretty number 2.
They are really number 2 because they get to the finals all the time and just cave. Right. Anyways, so we were talking about the British Empire, the Empire we can trust. Yes, that's right. Chamson Dula and his wife attempted assassination of Orn Free Ta. Right. Now, here's a question that I pose. Okay. Hauser. We saw in the beginning of the first episode, Bad Deal, Deal with the Devil, Devil's Deal, whatever they call it. Hauser has Devil's Triangle, yes. I don't know what episode of Bad Batch you were watching, but you may have got on the wrong streaming service. But the Devil's Deal, Hauser starts to show some hesitation towards the Ramparts, Ramparts orders, right? Are we thinking that that Order 66 is wearing off, or do we think that there's something more?
They're not Jedi.
Okay, but still, Order 66 is supposed to beef up from what we've seen, Order 66 is
beefs up the conditioning.
Yeah, beefs up the conditioning.
All of those clones that joined with Hauser will be put through the booster machine, just like Crosshair was.
Okay.
They'll be sent to re-education camps and shown the error of their ways.
Yes. All right.
To be good soldiers.
Because good soldiers
follow orders.
That's right.
Because good soldiers follow orders.
So, but I mean, do you think that that's what it was, though? I mean, do you think that it was just because they're not Jedis, it didn't kick in as harshly, or do you think that there's more to it?
I mean, there could be a whole, I don't know, maybe a plot hole that just to continue to suspend disbelief.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think, Nev?
No idea. It's a plot hole. I have no way of knowing how it gets filled.
All right. So I gotta say that I do think that this is where we're going. I think we're going to be moving towards, maybe not this next episode, but soon we're going to return to Camino, and a lot of what's going on with Hauser, I think, will be explained, right? Or explored. Maybe not explained, but more explored. And more of, we'll get more information that more of chips are not working the way that they should, or working the way that, was intended, kind of a thing. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. So, I don't know. Okay, so let's wrap up this first episode. Is there anything else you guys want to say about this?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I mean, I the only thing that, as far as this episode goes, I was surprised we didn't see the death of Hera's mother.
Same. I gotta ask though, and this is more of like the greater Bad Batch so far. We've seen 3 of the Phoenix team already. Chopper, Kanan, and Hera. Right? We're not going to see Ezra because he's too young. Sabine probably would be too young as well. I mean, it would be weird if we saw Sabine at this age. Zeb maybe not. I mean, anything could be possible. But as I was looking at this, as I was watching this, I just am starting to, with all the news that's going around about, like, you know, Thrawn and Ezra in the future, I'm wondering if we will see Thrawn, right? If this is somehow going to be tying more into Rebels so that it sets up for Thrawn.
I mean, it's possible. We could we could see some animated Thrawn this season. Maybe next season.
He is.
I think we have a better chance at seeing Vader than we do Thrawn.
I agree. I do think that it's likely that we'll see Vader. I think it's maybe not this season, but maybe next. I do think it has been renewed for a second season. Not 100% on that. But I think that it's more likely that we'll see Vader and the Inquisitorius. But Thrawn, I don't know. It was just interesting to me to see this connection, right? Anyway, so how would you rate this first episode? Rescue on Ryloth. Paul, what do you or Nev? Were you gonna say it?
I'll give it a 3.75.
Okay.
I was happy. Yeah, I was happy with the episode. I wasn't blown away, but I was happy with the episode. Yeah.
Okay, Paul.
We actually had the Bad Batch in a Bad Batch episode, and it furthered the story, but did not tug at our heartstrings like I thought it was going to.
Mm-hmm.
I'll agree with Neil. 3.75.
All right.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. There's nothing horrible in it.
Bad Batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch. Yeah. You know, and I, like I said, you know, child soldiers. That's where it's losing its points.
All right, so it's losing its points for child soldiers. All right, that makes sense. All right. I will say though, I tend to be more positive for most episodes, and give higher scores than both of you. Maybe less critical than I probably should. But I like this. I was really happy with this episode. I liked the way that it wrapped it up. I liked a lot of the little things. There are a few mistakes in my mind. If they're facing against Crosshair, why wouldn't they think like Crosshair, right? And why wouldn't they know that Crosshair would probably assume that it was a trap, right? So, I mean, little things, you know, but I did like it. I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it was fun. I thought it was enjoyable. It didn't pull at my heartstrings, but I loved Hauser's speech right there at the end. This is what we fought for, and we're condemning the people that we fought alongside, that we fought for their freedom, right? And I really liked that other soldiers stood up and dropped their weapons, while at the same time, there were still those who were good soldiers and followed orders, right? So it creates this divide amongst the ranks of the clones. I love that, and what it does for the universe, right?
Beginning of the end for clone troopers.
Yeah. I also like the fact that we saw these other these elite soldiers, right? What I have been dubbing the beginning of Inferno Squad, because I absolutely think that this is the beginning of Inferno Squad. Hands down, 100% convinced that that's the case. So, Rescue on Ryloth, we're at what, like a 8.5? Like a 3.85? Not amazing. Again, I can't math. Not amazing.
3.87, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I can't math. I was close. Now, Infested. The boys get back to Ord Mantell. And they're sitting... It was weird, the people in the helmets, right? It was strange seeing all of those different characters.
It's called a uniform.
Yes, but it's a uniform. It's a uniform among like gangsters. I mean, do most gangsters? Well, I guess like stereotypically, and I'm gonna stereotype the Italian mafia, tracksuits.
I think they were mob
white suit, black ties.
White suit, black ties. That's all right. I guess that makes
Yakuza,
sense.
the Ord Mantell Yakuza.
The Ord Mantell Yakuza.
Yeah, okay. Shiny suits. The shiny suits. Yeah, all Yakuza right. For shiny suits.
I could see that. So they're walking back to Sid's. Sid's no longer in the place. Right?
There's a new boss in town. There's a new big bad in town.
Yes. And it was... What did you think of the new big bad? I wasn't worried about him. Like,
no. He didn't inspire any fear whatsoever. Yeah. None.
I was like, who is this guy? And is this horned menace? He's not very menacing.
I mean, we are talking low-level bosses here.
That's true.
We're not talking. You know, we're not talking like Don level bosses, because you know that would, you know, then it would have just been like pure brutal evil. We're not talking Maul level or Palpatine level, you know, evil boss here. We're talking like, you know, low-level boss. You know, just dipping his toes, just learning, you know, training wheels on, learning how to be evil, and he's just not very good at it.
Yeah,
you know, he doesn't inspire fear. You know,
this wasn't even Major Domo level. This was like
get rid of the lizard and get a white furry cat.
Seriously, there was no, that lizard thing was, I mean, it was cool that he had something. But hopefully in the next attempt that he tries to muscle out someone, he has a furrier creature, right? Even like a naked cat with no fur, right? Go all, what's the Austin Powers villain? Dr. Evil?
Which one? Dr. Evil.
Right? Dr. Evil. Go Dr. Evil on him, right? You know, furless cat, you know? Get a loth cat, but shave it, right?
He wasn't bad. The people that he was dealing with, they were bad.
Yeah. So,
those were the ones that inspire fear.
So this reintroduces the Pikes to us, and it introduces a new syndicate, essentially, outside of the Pikes, and it's this guy's mom, right? It's this, I forget her name.
Issa Durant,
thank you. Now I gotta say, and what actually made me think back to Rebels was this character. Issa Durant is a brand new character. She's not been mentioned in any of the other Star Wars. She wasn't mentioned in Rebels. She wasn't mentioned in anything.
He's Fredo.
He's Fredo? He's
Fredo.
Okay, so You're gonna be.
He's Fredo, and his mum is the Don.
Yeah. But Issa Durant is, the boss, right? The head lady, right? This is Hondo Onaka's mom level, right? She's the one that's teaching him, but apparently she kicked him out too early, and he didn't learn enough,
Yeah, right? Took the training wheels off way too soon.
Oh my gosh, he was bad, right? Because he spent most of the time chasing after his little lizard creature and being robbed, right? Again, we have
having his horn cut off.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be a sign of.
Vizago had his horn chipped as well.
That's what made me think of Rebels, was Vizago, right? My thought was, is this a young Vizago, right? I didn't remember.
Wrong horn.
Yeah. Well, is it? No, it is the wrong horn.
Yeah.
Vizago
it's his left horn hit.
Left horn.
And Durand had his right horn cut off.
That's right. But that was what made me think Star Wars Rebels. Are they bringing in other characters from Rebels to connect with, this? Now, clearly I'm wrong, and that's not the case. But it was cool to see more of these Deveronians kind of in action. Now, do you think that we are because this is, let me start this sentence over. This is the second time we've seen the Pikes in the show, right? The first time we saw it with the Sisters Martez, right?
You mean overall Star Wars?
Weren't the Pikes the one that they were stealing from with the...
Right, but that was Clone Wars.
No, I get that. But weren't they stealing the droid head from the Pikes?
No, I don't think so.
So then I'm just mixing up. Okay, so maybe... Anyways, this is the Pikes being introduced to Clone Wars, or to Bad Batch. And then we have another kind of gangster feud, right? That's what I'm seeing here. This is the start of a gangster feud, right? Now, will we see more of the underworld? Will we see more of these characters show up again? That's essentially.
I hope so. I said that was one of the narratives that I felt would be something that maybe not necessarily would kick in season 1, but maybe in season 2, when they're off doing various different jobs, and they're going to get into various different entanglements with various different syndicates and various different gangsters. Definitely.
The Pikes were in Clone Wars with we saw them only in the Clone Wars before this.
Okay. All right. So, but because we know they have dealings with the Sisters Martez, it wouldn't be unfounded. It wouldn't be wrong to necessarily say that we could see them again show up here.
Their first appearance was in season 5, and Maul ran into him.
Yeah. Didn't Maul destroy a bunch of them?
Yeah.
Like, unceremoniously. So,
say hello to my little friend. I have 2 of them.
Yes. So in this episode, we have a few different things that kind of show off. We see more of the planet Ord Mantell, which I thought was kind of neat. But it was cool to see.
Which Deveronian is that, Neil?
I have no idea.
It's just
I picked it up for 50 cents at a garage sale.
Nice. Here's the thing, though. Are we done with Ord Mantell as a base? Are we done with Sid?
I hope so. It's gone on long enough to me.
Yeah. They need to move on in the galaxy and do something else somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
big galaxy.
It really is. One of the things that I would love to see in this next episode or in future episodes, and we only have 3 left for this season. It is my belief that those 3 episodes will be a 3-part story arc. But I want to see Sid move off Ord Mantell to Nar Shaddaa. Nar Shaddaa would be a great place for the Bad Batch to lay low. I think that that's one of the places that we should see. And Nev, as you said, this show has a lot of potential to explore areas of the Star Wars universe that we haven't seen in television, specifically the underworld. And it could do it in like a fun, family-friendly, mob-style, murderous fun way, right? I mean, like it, because I mean, yes, it's Star Wars, and yes, it's gonna, but it's still the family-friendly Star Wars, right? It's still a kids show. They're not gonna make it super gruesome, and so this would be a way to explore some of those storylines. I'm telling you, he was shot in the head, Paul. And yes, I mean, I know that's true, but like not just in the Leku. That dude was shot in the temple. I can't get past that. But like, give us more of these things, right? Give us more of these areas. Explore more of these crime bosses. We haven't seen Jabba yet, which we know that he's starting to ramp up his operation, right? Jabba the Hutt is one of the big players in Star Wars at this point. I still would love to see Shizor step into power. I would love to see him roll up on scene.
I would love to see his ship.
Yeah,
Star Vipers.
I'm not familiar with his ship. I just know I'm familiar with Shizor and his number 2. I'm gonna butcher her name, but Guri, Guri, Guri. It's this like android death machine that, anyways. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. And again, we're going to start having to see, in my mind, parts of Mandalore and Maul. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking all of this stuff is going to like connect somehow. I think we're going to see Crimson Dawn. I think there's a lot of opportunity that this show needs to take. And hopefully it takes it. Now, before I even move on, the rumor is, and this isn't anything like spoilery, but the rumor is the end of season 1 will be a tearjerker. Will be an emotional one. How do you think that's going to play out? Nev, what are your thoughts?
I've already got a name for this for next week's episode.
I know, me too.
I'm not changing what I think is going to happen. Yes, there will be tears because Omega is going to go away off to somewhere to be safe, to become a child and grow up.
She's going to go to the nice field outside of upstate New York.
Yep.
She's going to get. I mean, if I was to put my money on it, I would say Alderaan. But yeah, the rebellion's going to spirit her away so that she actually gets to be a child. And that's the tearjerker. The crying's going to be, oh, I don't want to go. And Hunter's going to be like, but you have to. You're just a kid, you know. You've got to go and do kid things. And Wrecker's going to be like, oh, kid, we'll miss you. And you know, Tech will be like, I'll never forget impression. You. But you know, and Echo will be like, is there an echo in the? You know, they'll all cry. You know, Wrecker will blubber like the big blubbering idiot that he is, and Hunter will be all stoic and crying inside and being all, I'm trying not to cry, and Echo will be like, what? And Tech will be like, But yeah, they'll Wrecker's going to be the only one that cries.
Of course.
I mean, it's going to be, the tearjerker is for us, not for them. So, it's going to make us cry. Just like we cried when Baby Yoda left.
Camera, Neil, because I sadly, unfortunately, did not get to enjoy the facial expression of you at the same time impersonating Wrecker.
Oh, why is my camera out of sync?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
There we go. It's back in sync.
So
yeah, Wrecker's going to be the only one that actually cries.
I think Wrecker will be the one that cries, because he will be told that Omega is being sent to live up in New York in an upstate New York in a farm. I think I'm really starting to think that Omega is going to die. I did believe, and I have believed, that one of the members of the Bad Batch will die. I've said that from the beginning. Episode 1, I believe
we all thought that it was going to be Wrecker.
Yeah, because he's dumb. I mean, because he's the kind of guy who would make a dumb choice, make a dumb, he'd accidentally blow himself up because he was playing with explosives, right? Silly things, right? I thought it was Wrecker or Hunter. I am now putting my money on Omega. Omega is going to die. Now,
they're not going to kill a child in the first season of the Bad Batch.
I think they could.
Because it's Disney. They're not going to do it.
I think they absolutely could. Did we freeze?
No.
Okay.
No,
we froze on YouTube.
It happens.
Yeah. So, I do though. I think that absolutely Omega is going to be gone. I think she is. Yeah, we froze.
No, he didn't freeze.
Oh, we didn't freeze?
No.
All right. So here's the thing though. If Omega dies, it gives the Bad Batch.
Oh, online, yeah, we did.
Yeah, we froze. But is the music? It gives it. Yeah, but it's.
Yeah, your OBS video has frozen.
But it's
the stream's still going, but the video's frozen.
Yeah, I can still hear us.
Does that work? Did I fix it? Everyone left. Weird.
Yeah, they're not going to kill Omega.
You don't think so? I think they will.
No, this is Disney, not Netflix.
I think that they will kill Omega. Let's do this. Whoop. That was not the screen I should have. Okay, there we go. That will probably get back to us. Now
Yeah, we are. We're not frozen anymore.
We're not frozen anymore. Okay. So, will they kill Omega? Nev says no. Paul, what do you think?
I think it's Crosshair that's going to die.
You think it's Crosshair that's
going
to die?
I think they will defeat Crosshair and be broken up about it because they were brothers. But he brought this upon himself.
He did bring it upon himself. He did.
He's done this to himself.
You've done this to yourself, Crosshair. All right. But again, I think it could very well be Omega. I would love to see Crosshair in another episode, another season. But if we do look back at Star Wars Rebels, the main character did die. The main bad guy died in the first season as well. So it would be a good opportunity to bring in a new big baddie for season 2, right? A
big blue baddie.
A big blue baddie, right? Because who's good at chasing down, people? Thrawn. I think it'd be a great opportunity.
When was the new Thrawn set?
New Thrawn is set pretty soon after.
When did he join the Empire?
That's a good question. We know that the new Thrawn
answers on a postcard.
Answers on a postcard?
Oh, sorry, that's a British idiom.
Oh.
Quizzes on old children's TV shows. They'd ask you a question, and it would be answers on a stamped addressed envelope. Send it to blah 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 blah. Before the internet and phones, children would enter competitions by sending their answers on a postcard.
Thrawn became Grand Admiral around 2 BBY.
Okay, so 2 BBY. This is still 14 18 BBY.
Yeah, and he joined 12 BBY.
Oh, so Thrawn's not. We're not gonna see Thrawn.
Yeah.
But the Inquisitorius, we could absolutely see the Inquisitorius, because because Vader is establishing those people to hunt the Jedi now, right?
Oh yeah, I love me some Jason Isaacs.
I would love to see that. Rumor is that in the Kenobi spinoff, we're going to see Inquisitors. So a great way to reintroduce those is here. Maybe we could see a young Grand Inquisitor before he is the Grand Inquisitor, right?
That would work.
I think that would fit.
It would work very well in an animated series. That's for sure.
It would definitely fit. It would definitely and it's Filoni, so it makes sense for him to bring in his own stuff. He does that all the time.
Yeah, he likes bringing his own stuff. He likes tooting his own horn, doesn't he?
What man among us doesn't? I'm sorry, inappropriate. I'm just talking about like pride and okay. I'm gonna stop. I'm digging myself a deep hole there. So I gotta say though, as far as the episode goes, as far as Infested goes, I was kind of disappointed. It was very much a filler episode that I think is introducing elements that will be seen later on, but not something that is current, or not something that was useful. We didn't really get to see Wrecker be his goofy self. I think the comic relief was on those two guys, the Ithorian and the Hondo guy. I forget his race. What race is Hondo?
Durant.
What race is Hondo?
Yeah.
Weequay?
Thank you. I couldn't remember. Weequay. That name would not have come to me. Don't leave, Paul. Because I forgot.
He's our character.
I know. But I have so much Star Wars information here that sometimes it's hard to gather.
Yeah, we get, we have been getting a bit of a Star Wars overload at the moment with all the TV shows.
And so again, my point is like I did like that back and forth between the Weequay and the Ithorian, right? That was fun, and seeing their loyalty to Sid, I also thought was pretty cool. I do want to change though. This season has been good, but there's been a lot of little fillers. It feels like.
I just hope that the payoff of the filler information, will hit, and it's not like, oh, I guess you were contracted for 16 episodes, but could only come up with 12.
Yeah, exactly. That's my concern. That is my concern. Like, I'm hoping that it pays off later on. That if we look back on rewatching this after season 2, or we go back and watch season 1, when we're watching season 2, like, oh, that makes sense now. Because it wasn't just a little thing. It was this is prep for something bigger. Right? That's what I'm hoping for. Because otherwise, this specific episode, definitely filler. Right? In fact, I will probably give this one my lowest score so far.
Well, let's go ahead and get into scores.
Yeah. So I'll just go ahead and start. I'm gonna give it a 2. Yeah, I know. Because again, 2.5 out of 5. That's average, right? That's right there in the middle. It was an episode. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. I actually didn't like this episode. I was kind of bothered by it, right? And so for me, that filler, it's there was no connection to before, and it doesn't feel like there's going to be a connection to after, and so that's where I'm worried, right? So
I think this episode really explains why they're leaving Ord Mantell. I think that's what this episode was about. Not technically about, not just a filler episode, but here's why they got to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't like the bugs. The bugs were never really explained. For me, it's a 3.
Okay. Nev.
I'll give it a 3.
All right. So that's a 266.
266.
Right. Again, math, not my fan. So next week we do have a brand new episode, and I do believe that it is the start of our 3-part finale. That's kind of what we've seen Filoni do in the past. 2-part finale.
It's titled War Mantle.
Yep. And we all know that War Mantle was a title given to Admiral Akbar. I have no idea. I'm just joking. I'm just randomly saying things. But I'm excited for this next episode. I feel like it's going to set up and just stop like some of these other ones. So we'll see. I don't know. It will air on Friday. I will be watching it Friday morning with my kids.
Do you want me to go into it?
Do you have?
I do have information on War Mantle.
You've got the synopsis.
Do you have the synopsis?
War Mantle was first mentioned in Rogue One.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait, is that what we're calling the moving on from the
Project War Mantle, also simply known as War Mantle? This is from Wikipedia. Was an initiative of the Galactic Empire enacted soon after its founding that sought to fill out the ranks of the burgeoning Imperial Army with conscripted human soldiers, a departure from the clone army of the Galactic Republic.
So we are going back to Camino.
We're going back to we're either going back to Camino or we're going to Coruscant.
Ooh. That is something we haven't seen yet, and I would love to see Coruscant in Imperial hands. That would be awesome. Whew. Okay, well, we are going to see a lot of really cool stuff, and I think this is the beginning of the end of the Kaminoans and the clones. So,
you think they're going to test out the Death Star on Camino?
No. Ooh, they could. They could. That actually would be really interesting because we do know with Rogue One, like I want to say, wasn't Galen Erso working with the Republic before the fall? It wasn't just Erso was brought on as a Imperial. Like he was a Republic scientist, and then I'd have to go back and double check, but I think that that could very well be the case. I don't know if it would be ready yet. You know? That would be cool, though. That would be really cool. Because we also know that Saw Gerrera picks up Jyn Erso and makes her one of his partisans. And it would be neat to kind of explore that a little bit. I really do want to see more of Saw Gerrera. I would love to see the Bad Batch team up more with him. And,
yeah, I mean, Camino was erased from the archives. Just saying.
That's true. No one would know that it's gone. Because it's gone.
Because it's gone.
It's gone from the... Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm really excited. I think the season finale, which not this week, it'll be in 3 weeks, but I think this is the beginning of the end. So, gentlemen, what do you have coming up this week?
Oh, just the usual. GAC, GA Center, the usual Gumph.
Gumph, all right.
Yeah. And Thaddeus.
What
am
I
I going to tell you to do?
Make sure you get your report in.
I started writing it. I did.
You were the teacher's pet last week. You were the first person to
was I?
report.
I was really confused. I thought I put it in the wrong place because no one else had reported. And I was like, wait a second. Did I do this wrong?
Yeah, no, you did it right. You were just the first.
Awesome.
For me, I have a chance at hitting Kyber for the first time ever.
Good luck to you, sir.
All I need to do is win one match and full clear all 3 times.
Good luck. I am nowhere near Kyber. And so it'll be interesting. But
I may stream though. I may stream the momentous occasion that I hit Kyber if I see it coming.
Good luck. I will say though, I am I think 3 refreshes, maybe 4 refreshes away from being able to participate in the Obi-Wan Kenobi Galactic event, or the Legendary event, Galactic Legendary.
Ooh, look at you!
I know. I've finally got my, what do you call that? What's her name? Bo-Katan. She's at Relic 4, and I have all of the basic ones and a handful of the other stuff that I need, and so we'll see how that works out. So I should be able to get that tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Tuesday at the latest. I'm really tempted to buy one of those really crappy $24 bundles.
Well, for me, I know you can't see that easily, but I'll be going after that Super Star Destroyer. Just saying.
Ooh, I'm really excited about that. Like, I actually think after this I might record a reaction video to the.
You know what?
Road ahead.
I'm assigning you
post reaction.
Yes.
I'm assigning you Admiral Piet for this week for the Escape Podcast.
All right, done and done. And I almost have Admiral Piet to Relic 1. So
yeah, so Admiral Piet, because he is the commander of the new Super Star Destroyer.
And that makes sense. Although I'm really looking forward to Maul. I called it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Maul.
I called that. I knew that.
I called it as well. Paul was wrong.
If we were
right.
If Cat was coming as that reward, so was Maul. I mean, that there's no way they wouldn't balance that out. Light and dark. It was just
should have been Pre-Vizsla and then Maul as the.
I love Maul as a Mandalorian.
As the GL.
That's I agree.
Mandalorian GL.
Yeah, no, that would have been dope. I 100% agree.
We have too many frickin' Sith GLs.
He's not a Sith. I know. No, I got you. I see what you're saying.
He's a scoundrel and a Mandalorian.
This is why we need Maul would have been the perfect GL to introduce as a scoundrel GL. He would have been.
We need to get away from Jedi and Sith.
No, I agree.
GLs.
I agree. Jabba the Hutt GL, crime boss. Hondo Ohnaka, crime boss. I mean, if there's two characters in the Star Wars universe that deserve, and now we're talking Galaxy of Heroes, but if there's 2 characters in the Star Wars universe that deserve Galactic Legends that are not, Jedi or Sith or Force sensitive, it's Hondo and Jabba, right?
Now, what they need to do? What they need to do is they need to bring in Dengar's ship, right?
Yeah.
They need to bring in Dengar's ship and put him on a good fleet node so that we've got something else to use our fleet energy on.
Please tell me that Maul's going to be a Nafu.
Nafu?
Non-aligned Force user.
He is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Okay, good.
He absolutely is. Anyways, gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight. Next week, we will be back again on Sunday night talking about War Mantle. And anything up that comes up. Nev, are we gonna stream anytime soon with all the news that's been breaking?
Yeah, we could do something if you want, just not tomorrow because I've got GA Centre tomorrow.
Let's schedule Tuesday.
We could go for something on Tuesday night. We could go over the room of control, and I could point out all of the areas that I knew I was right, and that I predicted, and all the Nostradamus stuff that came true.
The Nevstradamus.
It did. All
right. Yeah. All right. Well, join us later on. Paul, go ahead and take us out.
All right. Remember, be nice to each other, damn it. And remember to smile.
And stay nerdy. Nev, hit the button.
Toodles, everyone.